We've already had a look at what happens when you divide by powers, when we divide a number that's raised to different powers. Let's have a look at when we divide through by powers and our result means we end up with a negative power. So if we start with a sum like this, 2 squared divided by 2 cubed. If you remember from our previous video, what we're actually doing, when we look at the powers, 2 squared divided by 2 cubed gives us 2 to the power of 2 minus 3, which equals 2 to the power of minus 1. Okay, great. So we've just applied our rule that we worked out last time. But we've got this negative power. Now, if we were to look at this in a slightly different way and think, okay, 2 squared, well, we know that that is 4, divided by 2 cubed, well, we know that is 8. And 4 divided by 8 equals a half. Okay. So what we've shown here, if we look at our two answers, well, we've just worked out the same thing in a slightly different way. We've worked out that 2 to the power of minus 1 equals a half. Let's have a look at it in a slightly more complicated example and see if we can find a more general way of looking at this. 2 to the power of 4 divided by 2 to the power of 7. I'm going to go back to the longhand here that we used when we first looked at dividing by powers. So 2 to the 4, 2 times 2, times by 2, times by 2, divided by 2 to the power of 7. Well, that's 2 times by 2, times by 2, 2 times by 2. By 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we can cancel down here our 2's, where we have a number in the numerator and the denominator. We can just cancel those down. So that's leaving us with 1 over 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 1 over 2 cubed. Supposing we'd done this in the other way and we'd used our rule that we worked out, we'd said 2 to the 4 divided by 2 to the 7 equals 2 to, and I'm subtracting the powers now, 2 to the 4 minus 7, that equals 2 to the power of negative 3. 4 minus 7, negative 3. Again, if we compare our two answers, we are seeing that 2 to the negative 3 equals 1 over 2 to the positive 3. So actually, what we've done if we see a negative power is we've taken the reciprocal, which means we've put 1 over it. So 2 to the negative 3 is the reciprocal, and then the power becomes positive. 2 to the minus 3 equals 1 over 2 to the 3. So if you were to see something like 3 to the power of minus 2, well, we know there we're just going to take the reciprocal, gives us 1 over, and the power becomes positive. 1 over 3 squared, or 1/9. Here we've got a fraction. We're raising a fraction to a negative power. 3/4 to the power of negative 2. Again, just like we've done, we're going to take the reciprocal of what we're raising to a negative power. So we're going to take the reciprocal, which means we're going to put it underneath 1, put 1 over it. Reciprocal of 3/4, and the power now becomes positive. We've got 1 over 3/4 squared, which equals 1 over 3/4 squared, 3/4 times 3/4 equals 9 over 16. And if we're taking the reciprocal of a fraction, well, actually, we just invert that fraction. So 1 over 9 over 16 is 16 over 9. This is how we handle dividing numbers where the result is a negative power and raising numbers to negative powers.
Okay, Mary, so let's have a look at this one. So solve x plus 2x equals 12. So what do you think you do first?
Okay, well, I want x on its own, so I would put x equals 12 minus 2x.
Okay, so a lot of the time we want to get x by itself, but what we want to do first is get all of these x's together. So can you see anything we can do with this? Get all these together in one place.
Oh, okay, it's 3x, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
3x equals 12. Oh, and so x equals 4.
Brilliant, spot on, well done.